in your makeup, you find this freedom. And everything just falls into place like it's supposed to. But you gotta trust and just let go and follow where the music takes you. That's what my whole career has been. Like at the point I stopped chasing things that I didn't really need, that I didn't fit in, I found my own path. Everybody got a path. We all can't coexist in the same path. Knight broke it down to me like there's however many billion people on this earth or whatever. He was like, why as artists are we trying to get this same group of people and neglecting this group over here? Like, if this is who rock with it, then that's who rock with it. So, that's what I loved. It was just black and it felt free, and I love that there was, you had the jazz, you had the soul, you had the hip hop. It's like T said, like it spoke to so many people. Like I played it for my mom, I was like, listen to this. And King Kunta came on, she was like, well, that sounds like James Brown. I said, yep. And she connected with it instantly. Okay. And it was just something like, you as a group of people, whether it's you and your mom or you and your homeboy, like you bridging this gap and everybody's just connecting with this good music. And that's what I loved about it. And it was honest, and he told stories like, that's the kind of music I love. Like it has something for everybody, for every emotion. And it was just black music, like unapologetically black music. So.
Very much so, very much so. Let's fast forward. Once the album has been released, critics are writing, accolades are coming in, and then we get to the Grammys. What did that mean to you, to both of you? Going from the start of the project and then into its reception and how it impacted the world, and what it meant to you all to see that the maturation of the project.
You want me to take this? I was on one song. You did the whole thing.
And for those of you that I know, Terrace is pretty much on every song on the record. He's doing something, whether it's playing an instrument, producing, co-producing something. This brother is almost on every track on the record.
Yeah, go forward. Yeah.
My whole thing was, and so was Kendrick's. Like the Grammys was cool, but the performance was the focus for us.
Absolutely.
Because we said, and they said, y'all gonna play at the Grammys. He was like, okay, cool. You feel me? Like, okay. So now we can paint the picture one good time. We can paint the picture and just don't say sorry and don't give a fuck and do it one good time. I don't know if they're gonna let us back in after this shit. One good time. So even if we don't win now, we ain't tripping on winning or losing. We really wasn't tripping at all. It was just, because I remember when it was the early part of the day of the Grammys was handed out.
Yeah.
Just the whole day, like the Grammys is a all day thing. But I remember me, like, I was so into that performance, being with that band all day at sound checking, going over the parts. We had some amazing young musicians, like 18, 19 years old, like kids that has never played on the stage. The keyboard player, I picked him up 2 days before we had to get to the Grammys because the other keyboard player was stuck somewhere, and he's an 18-year-old kid from Milwaukee. I heard him in a nightclub play like Jamaica Funk and just guessed maybe he's cool. He has an afro. He was soulful. And look, I'm saying, so it was like, that shit was like a movie in my head the whole time because we rehearsed so much. And that day, I didn't even go to the Grammys. I was at the Staples Center just with the band, just making sure we was humming our parts, going over the parts. And I walked past Layla Hathaway and Kurt Franklin. Layla said, congratulations, you won like 2 Grammys. And I was like, cool. No, I was really like cool because my whole thing was like, this performance, I knew what it was going to be because we was there for sound check and nobody seen it yet. So I just knew, and my thing was like, cool. I just wanted to stay focused. It was so spiritual, and we made it a point at the rehearsals not to replay things. We never played that thing twice the same way. We left room for error at the fucking time of the television. And that's important, to welcome the mistake in any of your music, in any of your creativity. And it's important to go through challenges and everything because there was a lot of politics and changing the times and everything, but we kept that shit honest and cried. I felt like, whoa. It was like, and then you looking at Herbie Hancock, Common, Rhapsody, my mama, Tom. You know, my mama. But you looking at everybody that made this shit happen, and it's like, somewhere it's a little kid saying, I gotta do that shit. Like when I first saw LL, American Music Awards, do I'm Bad with the Troop outfit on, right? I said, I can't wear that red shit in my neighborhood, but I gotta do that. And Troop didn't make nothing blue, so my mama bought me a Troop outfit. And I had a little scuffle when they took it off the next day. But yeah, that was the energy and the focus. And not to be funny, man, but I love Spike Lee, so I just kept hearing like the Malcolm X score my whole day, because that performance was inspired by, we're always inspired by Terrace Martin and Spike Lee, and just that whole movement of all the Spike films and everything.
Yes.
You know, so we just wanted to paint that picture, man. And then, you know, when things started winning more and more, it was like, yo, they like us. You know, and it was a good thing, man. I think, I'm just happy that we were able to inspire. That's the only shit. As long as you can inspire and each one teach one. So that the Grammy performance was just a way to touch people that has never heard or never even seen or don't even know what we are going through over here in America. Right. We have allies that can help us. Some people just really don't know what's going on in America because we so strange over here and they live in cool other places, you feel me? So,
yeah, this is for Terrence. To the people that's been here and in general, you're like the central piece to everybody, you know. Terrence introduced me to this person, Terrence introduced me to that person, or, you know, I'm Terrence's cousin. It's you know, it seems that you're the focus, or you bring people together.
They all my cousins.
In a game that's so selfish, how important is it for you to keep everybody connected and keep everybody working and keeping everybody as a team and not so separated?
It's important to me, and I learned that because my early heroes were the gangsters in my neighborhood. And it was a set of gangsters that was pushing the negative line with murder and everything like that, but it was a set of OGs that inspired a lot of us, like, that were monsters and on certain areas, but understood community, and they protected my community, and they raised me. Before I played the saxophone, you know, I wanted to be one of them. That's what I seen growing up. I wanted to be all the money, all the dude, all this, all that, and they always would steer me in a way and be like, yo, this is before I played music, yo, you need to find something to do. You're a strange kid. You should find something to do. And I'd be like, no, I'm trying to be like you. But they would, later on, 20 years later, I found out that they would let me hang with them, and they would be calling my mother, checking in, because they would be, anyway, but I learned from them, a couple of the guys I was pushing the positive mind in my neighborhood, that the fellowship is very important, the communication is very important, and the family is very important, and loyalty is extremely important. You know, the area I come from is a certain part I remember it before it hit negative was the loyalty it meant. You know, like the word cricket, it meant community research and progress at one point. And it got twisted up later on in the early 80s. So my OGs that I looked up to come from an earlier aspect of gangbanging, which really rooted back, if you think about Chicago, and you get deeper, even in Africa, it gets deep like that. So I grew up understanding loyalty and the fellowship. And I grew up with the same crew, from the same block, in the sandbox since 13 years old. Me, Kamasi, Thundercat, Robert, all of us. And I just knew if I ever was to get on, because I was a little bit more intrigued with other rappers like Snoop and Dr. Dre. Snoop was my hero, he raised me. So I just knew if I ever was to get on and do records, I know the best musicians, they my friends. You know, and for every record I did my whole career, I always used the same cast since 1997. If you look at all my early Snoop records, it's Robert Glasper playing keys. It's Thundercat playing bass. Kamasi's doing the horn arrangements. It's the same crew. So it looks like to everybody, here's the connected. And what's funny is I guess I am, but man, that's just how we move. You know what I'm saying? And I don't move nowhere without my army. You know, Rapsody, Knife Wonder, y'all, we all one army. You feel me? So I'm be connecting y'all. We all gonna be connected. Because that's how I'm gonna live forever. As the guy that bridged the gap. That's my goal.
All right,